All right, in this video, we're going to talk about cash and also make a few announcements. So some few announcements first. Tomorrow, I'm going to be meeting with Rafael Laverde. He's from the Crypto Vigilante. He did a phenomenal 3-part series with Jack Liu on, like really a visionary thinker on the mindset of what's going on in Bitcoin. He has incredible technical knowledge about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole. And I've really got some insightful questions for him to, get a background on where he is, like where his mindset is, how it led him to where he is right now. It looks like he's been involved or friends with Daniel Krawitz from like way back in the day. And it seems like it looks like he lives like out in Acapulco area. So it'd be cool to really find out more about him. I know that, really, really excited to hear about his perspective. And then also after that, I'm going to be meeting with Brett Banfe, Bitcoin Association. Brett truly inspired me a ton, where he really did an incredible interview with this Aussie investor named Bruce, that really broke down like the white paper, the technical comparisons of Bitcoin and the significance of proof of work. And I'm really, really excited to hear his perspective on things that are going on right now, and, just a better understanding on the technical understanding of Bitcoin, the importance. And so now, regarding the cash, there's a few years back, I was ordered to put a deposit into the court, put a bond into the court, kind of similar how, Dr. Wright was ordered to put that $1.1 million bond into the court over there, which he then believably put in, but then also in addition, possibly may have put the 27 Bitcoins in the Genesis block. So a few years back, I was ordered to do something similar. Court ordered me to put a bond in deposit for the court for the other side. So I went down to the court with what I thought was the best possible sound money at the time, which was a postal money order fully endorsed and backed by the United States Post Office, made out to the court, so that the court turned me away. They said that was unacceptable. And I was actually baffled. The court took it, but it wasn't until the next day when I went to court and the judge said it was unacceptable. I had to bring cash. And so this question that I brought forward to the court at the time, I said, well, Your Honor, if it pleases the court, the postal money orders, as far as my understanding, is cash. That's the best form of cash there is. That was my understanding. And I looked at the dictionary and the definition. That was my understanding of cash. Now, the court's understanding of cash seemed to be different. And so I asked the court, I said, well, what does the court want me to do? Because when the court says cash, I deposited what I believed cash. Now, I looked in the dictionary and there's this broad definition of cash: coin, money, remedy, money, or money on hand, either current coin or legal tender, bank bills paid and received as money, cashier's check, money order, or certified check. That's what it says in the dictionary. So I felt like I met it. Now, I asked the court, I said, so would the court clarify what it wanted? I said, does the court mean it wants the floating rate notes, which is the money that we all carry in our hand, with the presidents on it, federal floating rate notes, Federal Reserve notes? The court would not clarify that for me. And I went back and forth with the court. I said, for the record, the court's not clarifying what it wants. And so I ended up, bringing down the floating rate notes to the court, the greenbacks, and gave that, and that satisfied the court. But, in that significant importance, it's like having a digital cash, a better understanding of what cash is, and another option of using cash is so significant at this place in time that we are right now, because the closer now, if we can blend in one form of acceptable cash, not pursuant to what the court says, but pursuant to what we say, the people, the citizens, what we say is cash for us, because they sure want to get rid of. It seems like there's other forms of cash that are becoming less and less valuable. Other forms of floating rate notes, Federal Reserve notes, all these things don't seem to be holding their value. But if we can come up with our own digital cash, or agree on our own digital cash, Okay, we can have our own, like our own sovereign way to transact, and we don't need anyone. It's like, that's why Bitcoin is so revolutionary, because it solved that problem. I did a video yesterday and a talk with with a private membership group, and in that I really broke down in a 20-minute video like the overall significance of making the case for Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, the Genesis upgrade, and why digital cash and the overall is so important. And so I'm going to direct you guys to the end of this video to watch that, kind of get a background on it, and make my case, make the case ultimately for why it's so significant that we, as all of us, own at least one Bitcoin SV, because we then have our own form of way to transact in what we call Satoshis. Now, don't think of it as today. Don't just think, oh, I'm going to use it tomorrow. Just try to put ourselves a little bit ahead in the future. A month, 6 months, a year, maybe a little bit longer. Okay? Just think about, try to think a little bit ahead. Visualize being a little bit ahead in the future. Allowing us to have our own way to transact in just a short amount of time in the distance in the near future, by everyone having just one Bitcoin SV, we can transact in Satoshis. Those Satoshis will represent a very small item, kind of like a penny or a quarter. It's unknown for what the value will be at that time, but it will allow us to transact in ways that we can communicate digitally and electronically without any other party in the middle. So I encourage you guys to check out the video at the end of this. It'll be posted in the top here from the talk I did yesterday. And, I look forward to meeting Raphael and Brett tomorrow, and we'll get those videos out as well. We'll see you at the top.